I'm Avery Francis.
And we are the hosts of the Counterculture Teen Podcast. We're here to inspire a spirit of faith and patriotism in the hearts of young Americans like you.
Stick around. We're about to break cultural norms and champion the next generation of fearless patriots.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Counterculture Teen Podcast. I'm Anneliese, and today we are interviewing a friend of mine, Megan Sweeney, whose testimony actually inspired the theme of Season 2. Megan Sweeney is from Park City, Utah. She was adopted from China at 6 years old into a Christian family, and she is the second youngest of 6 kids. She loves to read, bake, and play cello. She's in her school's chamber and philharmonic orchestra. Megan recently started following Jesus almost a year ago, and she wants to grow closer to him and spread the word to others. She went to the Wheaton College Summer Institute in the summer of 2025, and she was able to work crew for Young Life at Washington Family Ranch, Creekside, at the end of July, beginning of August. Now she's trying to read the whole Bible in a year through the Bible Recap by Tara Lee Cobble. So, Megan, how are you today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. All right, so just reading through your bio and from what you've told me in our conversations, you have a very unique background. Adopted at 6 years old, into a Christian family, you started following Jesus almost a year ago. So tell me a little bit more about your background.
Like you said, I was born in China. I was 6 years old, and so I did not. For my first 6 years of life, I was not a Christian at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was adopted into a family of 7 at the time, which became a family of 8 I'm the second youngest.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically, I started learning about Christianity since I was like 6 years old, but I didn't really start understanding the gospel until like middle school. And so then like I went to like wildlife and many like Bible Christian camps.
Mm-hmm.
And in one of those, I prayed to God and I said I wanted to commit, but then I never really did commit. I never really like read the Bible or prayed much.
Yeah.
So then it faded away. And then like so I still like believed in God and all that, just the friendship I didn't really actually commit.
Yeah. That's a big problem I think a lot of people have is like the relationship part of it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still do sort of. But anyways, high school, end of middle school was hard for me, and then high school, freshman, sophomore year were hard. But it really hit me my junior year of high school, where like all the past like friendship experiences from my freshman and 10th grade year hit me, where even though I sat with like groups at lunch, I felt like I never really like belonged or connected. Yeah, so junior year, in the beginning of school year, I invited a few of my friends to sit with my friends. But then like after that, my friends stopped coming over. And then she decided to invite one of her friends, which I was totally okay with. But then when they started talking to each other, they started getting along super well, or they've always had, I guess, since they've been friends, and I just got a little jealous, which I know it's not the right thing to do, especially since like I met her in middle school and she's also a Christian, so I was a little. So then I started like hating myself, hating my life, like why is God doing this to me and all that.
The age-old question.
Yeah, so then I actually talked to her I texted her about it because we don't see each other very much. We didn't see each other very much junior year. So we only had one class together. So I texted her and I was like, hey, like, I noticed that you and your friend like get along super well at lunch, and I'm a little bit like jealous. And then like telling her how I felt,
That takes
and like
courage to talk about that.
yeah, it does. And
Mm.
then yeah, she's like, you don't have to be friends with her, but like you can still like be nice to her or whatever. Which to this day, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like I don't see her friend much actually, but this year, but yeah. And then like when I told her like how I was feeling and all that, like she was like, well, you have an identity through Christ. You're beautifully and wonderfully made. And yeah, so she's basically like your identity's through God, and that's when it really hit me because I was like, that's when I actually thought about I was beautifully and wonderfully made, and I was just like, that hit me. And like this was also before. This was actually I think a little bit after I found out I was going to work crew, and actually no, a little bit before work crew and work crew at Washington Family Ranch and Wheaton actually. So anyways, it was basically from a social dilemma that I've always had, because I guess like even though I have anxiety, I guess I never realized I totally had social anxiety. So I guess part of my
Yeah.
social anxiety turned into this huge problem that I didn't even have to turn into.
Yeah.
Which then my friend reminded me about God, which I felt like was the Holy Spirit telling me something. I texted her that later, and she was like, "That's awesome." But yeah,
Yeah, I love
anyways,
it. I love that.
that was a start, and then I was able to start growing my faith more when I met all of you guys at Wheaton.
Yay.
And that was when I finally realized that being in a Christian community, like
gosh.
I truly belong. Because at my school, it's a public school, so I don't know a ton of Christians at my school, but I do know a few.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Community has been a huge thing on my heart for so long because I myself struggled for a long time with feeling like kind of lonely and an outcast almost on the outside, not fitting in. And I went to public school for maybe through sixth grade, and then COVID hit, but like. And I'm so glad that I'm a homeschooler, but yeah, I still struggle sometimes with, feeling like different from everyone else or like not just on the side. So like community is like, I love it when God's like, hey, yeah, there's this thing called community and you got these people called friends, and yeah, I use them to speak into your life. So I love that. That's awesome. So yeah, that made you want to like start committing to a real relationship with Jesus. That's a kind of a strange concept for a lot of people. Like, why would God want to be like, how do you become friends with like God? Um, and from someone who's, just realized that community is such a big part of it. How did that play out? Like, just like, how did your relationship kind of start forming?
Well, so a lot of it, like when I learned about the gospel in middle school, everyone like wildlife and just all the pastors or whoever kept talking about how like God, he's like our Father,
Prince of Peace and
Prince of Peace, and
like Emmanuel and
how like some of my youth leaders talk about how like he's like a friend too. Yeah, anyways, that came back into my head. But anyways, like when I remember we were talking at Wheaton, when you first said that you were an outcast, you felt like an outcast.
yeah,
That was literally me end of middle school, so like that was me 8th grade,
yeah.
and still like, I mean today I still sometimes feel like it, but
Once you find a community like that exists, like it's so fulfilling, honestly. Like, yeah. It changes
Yeah,
right
everything.
now, yeah. But right now, I'm not back in that Christian community.
Yeah.
So like, I'm still sitting alone most of the
Mhm.
days, still at school. But I've learned a new piece of I have a new mindset now about
Yeah.
quietness, because also that same junior year my friend was I was complaining about how like she was always quiet and like felt like she didn't like me because I talked too much, but she was like, no, that is not the reason. Quiet is just sometimes good. And
Yeah.
then when I sat alone at lunch, and now to this day when I sit alone at lunch, well, peace and quiet is sort of nice, because then
Yeah.
I can focus on like God, listen for a few minutes and be like, hey, what's up? Like, how can you help me or whatever?
Yeah. That's something I'm
So,
working on. But
yeah, and
yeah.
the same thing with playing the cello. I'm like doing it
I
not
love
only
it.
for me, but because also for God. So also that also helps me calm down,
Mhm.
which is pretty good. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, like I've started the habit of trying to pray every night and read the Bible recap
Mhm.
on the Bible app now, because I
Yeah.
really want to know the whole story, to be honest.
Mhm. Yeah. So then because of all that, like you've got an amazing story of how God's like worked through you. And you've got some really unique specifications to reach other people. Um, so like how would you say God's like been working through you because of like your experiences?
Well, to be honest, I'm still trying to find his voice. I am one of those people who's like, oh, everything has to be done by a formula, and which
Mm.
my mom keeps reminding me that is not, always not that's not
Yeah.
how life works. And so yeah, I'm still trying to find his voice, but like since that day, I do believe that God has a purpose for me, and that.
Hmm.
And actually, a few months ago, in like October or November, my friend, she actually asked. She actually, I asked her if she wanted to come to Young Life, but she was like she was too busy.
Hmm.
And then she talked about how she went to another like church youth group,
Hmm.
and then which I hadn't been to since like 8th grade.
Wow.
I don't know why. I don't remember why. But anyways, but then I felt like left out, because I was like, dang, like Young Life is not a church affiliated youth group. It's just like its
Yeah.
own Christian organization trying to
Which,
get non-Christian believers to become Christians. Yeah, so then I was like, I need to join a church group too. So
yeah.
now on Wednesday nights I go to this church youth group, but when I went back, it felt amazing, because even though I didn't know a ton of people because I was new again,
Hmm.
like it felt amazing because I got to see one of my old leaders.
That's
And
so,
and then the messages have always hit me so far because they've always related to me.
God is so good at doing that. See, that's God's voice right there. That's God. That's one of the ways God likes to talk. And
Yes.
yeah, it takes some time. Like some people kind of seem to just do it like talk to God naturally and like hear God's voice all the time. I mean, sometimes I'm like that, but it's taken a lot of time and like patience and learning about God to be even sometimes like that for like even 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a learning process. I'm still learning, and I mean, it's it's a hard thing, but I think God's definitely moving in your life through this, just through what you've told me. And so is there anything that you would like to say to other teens who might be going through similar struggles or just struggling with understanding who they are or how, like, you know, relationships, like how they can be in relationship with God?
Well, I probably can understand a lot of people out there who might be going through a similar situation as me, where you've been alone for like most of your life at school, and I get that's really hard. But like for me, what I try to what I wish I told myself sooner was just be yourself. God created you uniquely, and so even if everyone seems to not like you because of who you are, well, just don't let that stop you. Just keep doing what you love, keep achieving great things, and just be you. And your friends will come when God plans it. My true friends, I feel didn't come until Wheaton and work crew, because at both communities I felt so welcome and I did not feel left out because everyone's Christian and all that, and it just felt so amazing, and I still connect to some people from both communities to this day. And that's why just don't stop being who you are, and just go to youth group. And if you do have a youth leader that you connect to, or just any trusted adult that's a Christian that you talk to and you're struggling, please make sure to mention it to them, because they care about you and they will help you get through your struggles.
That is such good advice, and I agree with it 100%. Seriously, this has been an awesome time interviewing you. I hope that this connects with you guys listening, and thank you so much for coming in today, Megan. It's been a really awesome privilege.
Yes, thank you for having me here.
Tune in next time for another episode.
If you like this show, be sure to subscribe to our email list below and follow us on Spotify and YouTube.
See y'all soon! And remember, in an age of compromise, it's up to us as Christians to choose to courageously counter culture for Jesus Christ.